Yeah, you're in it. So as many of you are well aware, my day did not go well. But if you've been a client of ours for a while, you know that this happens frequently. Amy and I got up this morning, 4:30, Amy? 4:40? 4:30, something like that. Got to the airport and we were informed that the rapid test that we needed. Now, here's a little issue I have. Right now in the U.S., I can fly with no mask on, but I can't enter the U.S. without a rapid test. Somebody needs to do something about that. The rapid test we got, I guess, didn't have enough information. Anyway, I don't know what was wrong with it, but it wasn't right. So we didn't end up having our flight in Montreal. We ended up flying later in the day. I thought we still had time, but every plane we get on was delayed by like 15, 20 minutes. You know, when you're in a hurry, if you've ever been in a hurry and you're flying and you look at your clock, your watch or your phone, and you're like 8, 9 minutes as you're taxiing out, 10, 12 minutes. By the time it's wheels up, you're 20 minutes late. That happened every flight today. So by the time we got to our last boarding, our last destination, it became very clear that I wasn't going to be able to drive Sweet on Pete. I was going to be able to drive. I thought drive Purple Aura, but the judges informed me that it was a pick 3 and they didn't want to make any late driver changes in the pick 3. So they virtually asked me, which was kind of mean because they fined me. They asked me and then they fined me. They could have given me that one off. So they said, listen, if you don't think you can be here on time, we'd rather just put somebody else on the horse. Which is fine. I get that. You know, it sucks. It's a stake race. I get that. I'm doing the best I can. But then they find me. That's not cool. Anyway, I watched Sweet on Pete race. Now, a lot of people said, well, what's wrong with Pete? Why is she running? Nothing against Mike, but if I was driving that filly, she wouldn't run. And for no other reason, no fault of Mike's, only I know her. If you let up on Pete down by the wire like that, she almost made a break in her qualifier. She almost did it a couple of times last year. Her only break in her life was in the middle of the straightaway. For whatever reason, if you let up on her, maybe she loses her marbles a little bit. Maybe her stifles are, as I said in the email, a little weak. Maybe her feet are still bothering her a bit. I could give you a million reasons why she might have run. But she has a tendency where she could. And I know that, but I was worried about where you're going to get spotted, how she was going to behave. Jason, how did she warm up? And I really didn't talk to Mike really closely about how, about what this filly would do. I just didn't. And I guess, as it always is, if something goes wrong, ultimately it is my fault. And I think if Mike knew you had to drive on her right through the wire, he was a beaten second. That was a huge mile. Look at all the other Buckeyes. Didn't they all go in 59? One went in 57 apiece. Philly was awesome today, but she was going to be second. And I think Mike knew that halfway down the lane and just thought he was going to, like most horses you can, just let her coast through the wire. But Pete just kind of rolled off. I saw her starting to do it. I'm like, oh no. Oh, no. And then she rolled off. So I don't really think it was any soreness or lameness for those of you out there that are concerned for Sweet on Pete. She's fine. I told you this track is hard. Yes, we put bars on her, but they're not magic shoes. They're not going to magically make her feet not hurt. It's a hard track. And it wasn't that hard today, actually, to be honest. But I think knowing her a little bit more, and I do think maybe her stifles are still a little, she's a big girl. And I think just a lot of little things, and the fact that maybe she's used to me driving her through the wire and Mike let up on her and she's like, oh, I like this way better. Oh, wait, I can run. And she did. So a great mile for Pete. I don't think there's any issues with anything wrong with Pete. We'll continue to work on her, and I think that can be easily mitigated. One, I know her, and two, her stifles will tighten up. Her feet, we can work on them now. We have time, so there's no issue with Pete. Now, Purple Aura, I was very concerned. Outside post, I know what Mike was doing. He didn't want to leave. If you watch the race, he wanted to find a spot for a 4th or 5th. He knew the score. Jason told him. The filly isn't quite ready. Really nice filly last year, but she's a little bit behind. She's ready for maybe 58, 59, but the right way. Not parked past the quarter. And that's not Mike's fault. There just was no parking spots in there. There's nothing he could do. If he had went out of there like a bat out of hell, he would have crossed over in 2 steps. But he wasn't looking to do that. He was looking to find her a spot like I did with Skippy. He was looking to find a spot with her, and there just wasn't one there. Unfortunately, you go to the races, sometimes you get burned up. But I can tell you one thing, Purple Aura is tough. She is tough. You're not going to have to worry about her feelings being hurt or that race hurting her. Yes, we're going to have to tighten her up, but you're not going to have to worry about Purple Aura. I went with Skippy. Told you guys, here's food for thought. A lot of these horses that we brought back at 3 that we continue to train 1.5 miles like we did last year, I think we're going to have to take note of what's going on here. They aren't as tight as we thought they are. Right? Pete is, because she's a natural. Purple Aura, it's hard to gauge because she really was only ready for what she did tonight. It wasn't nice, but it's racing. But Skippy, this is 4 starts in now. She's starting to feel a little tighter, right? Those schoolers, those qualifiers. Then we raced her at the Meadows. We come back down here today. She raced good. If I get out, she wins for sure. But I couldn't come with her. I had to race her like that. And if I could have crashed Tyler a little earlier, he ended up giving me room because he was done. If I'd have maybe crashed him a little earlier, maybe I do get up. But then I would have been first place 7th, not just first. So she raced really, really well. And the other 2 fillies, they're going to the sale. Of Tom, just okay. She's just all right. Now, I know there's a client in the back seat who is not very happy about Isa 10 going to the sale, but I made her a deal, and I'll make a deal to all of you. And I'll tell you how much respect I have for her brother, how much I like him. And it wasn't that Isa 10 was sour or no good. She just doesn't have the talent that you need to possess to be an effective racehorse. In a slang, she's slow. That's what she is. She's not a fast horse. I thought that once she grew up, filled out, put more muscle on, you guys heard me say this, got her off her knees. She would come off her knees when her shoulders broadened out and filled out. That's exactly what happened. But it didn't equate to any more speed. And it's not an attitude thing. She's just not, God did not gift her with 8 cylinders. That's just the way it is. So I'm going to make a deal to everybody right now because she is well-bred, because we have a lot of respect for this family, because there's Breeders' Crowns horses in there. I'll make you a deal. If she doesn't bring 20,000 in the sale, because she absolutely should. If she doesn't bring 20,000, we will buy her back and we will breed her. I'm not racing her. There's no point in it. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to race her again. But I would entertain breeding her because I would love nothing more than to have another one of her brothers. Now, for the love of God, I don't want another one of her, but I don't want another one of her brothers. And if you're out there thinking, saying, Anthony, why would you breed a horse that's slow? Listen, lots of slow mares ended up with very fast horses. When you talk about breeding and family, it comes out. You find it. You can talk to all the breeders. Don't listen to me. If you're out there watching this video and you're a horseman, you know a breeder. You know someone that breeds. Don't take my word for it. Ask somebody. Ask one of the firms. Ask one of the breeders. Can a slow horse throw a fast horse? The answer is yes. 100%. And if you want proof of that, just go to look at all the horses that we had, just us, that were pretty good horses, and look at their mares and see if the mares were any good. Because a lot of times they weren't. They're sisters to this, right? She's a sister to Lawmaker. So I'll make everybody the deal, the solemn deal right now. If she does not bring 21,000, we'll buy her back at 20. No, I can't do it. I'm going to buy her back at 19. She's gone at 20. If she doesn't bring 20, I'll buy her back and we'll breed her immediately. But then she has to get in full. That's the second part of the deal. And there's going to be a lot of people scratching and saying, I don't like that. Why don't we race her? No, she's not good enough. She's a fair horse, barely. She tried today. I'm not angry at her. She tried today. She's just not good. And that's that. Of Tom, she is better. And she doesn't have the killer instinct. Never did, right? We talked about this last year. That was always my only dig with Of Tom. Probably one of the most beautiful gaits I've seen in quite a while. A very gifted trotter with a very little care level for racing. She should have been better today. She wasn't. And again, both those fillies will bring very good money. They will. You're in Ohio. There's only 90 horses in the sale. They are racing right now. They have 4 clean legs. People want them. They are fair horses and people want them. They're paid into 2 conferences. 2. So that's what went on today. Oh, good luck to everybody tonight. Flambeau's already going. Did we miss the horses? I think we might have. Good luck to the Gypsy crew and Hakati crew. Not a horrible day today. Pete raced good and was going to be second regardless of what took place. She raced great. Purple Aura wasn't quite ready to go. We knew that. Not really what we wanted. Kind of roughed up a bit, but that's not on Mike. Watch the race. You can't blame the man. He's there to drive horses too. He looked left. He tried to find her a little spot somewhere. There just wasn't one there. And rather than get away 8th, which nobody wants to do, he pushed forward. It just didn't work out. And she's still tough, though. Come back up the inside and was almost third. She raced good. And she'll be fine. You don't have to worry about her. She is tough. 1-2 Skip a Few is coming around. Very happy with her. And both the other fillies, you know what I feel now. Of Tom and Isa 10 are going to the sale. Of Tom is selling. Isa 10 at 20 grand. She's someone else's. Anything underneath, I'll buy her back and I'll buy you out. If you're one of my partners right now saying, oh, I don't want to do that, I'll buy you out. Because I know how good that family is. I drove many horses in that family, and her brother was one of the best horses we ever had. So that is what is going to take place moving forward. That's what took place today. Very, very happy with what I saw from most of them today. 3 of them, I guess the majority of them raced good today is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we're going to get a little bite to eat here. That place is fantastic too, by the way.
Yes.
Going to get a little bite to eat here. Kyle is with us. There's Kyle Gray.
Hey, guys.
Many of you guys have met Kyle. Great guy, been with us a long time. Him and Brent, his partner Brent. They're the breeders of Lost Spirit and Absolute Euphoria. We're going to go out and get a little bite to eat, and then Amy and I are going to get a little shut-eye. It's been a long, long day. But you know what? That's what we sign up for. It's racing, and we're happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. Aren't you happy to do it, Amy? You're really happy to do it. Anyway, you guys, I hope you had a great night. Hope you had a great weekend. And start to the stake season. A little slow. It's going to pick up this week, though. We got World 4-2, who's going to be racing this week in the Stallion Series. That was a surprise. That was out of left field. And Bomb Hugger's heading to New Jersey, as I am, on Saturday. Resolute Bay, Spring Series Final. We have a lot going on this week. So, talk to everybody soon. I hope you have a great day. Take care.